Hey everyone, before we jump into this story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more heartfelt stories. I told my husband I needed some space, that I was going away with friends for a short while. I was exhausted, drained by his constant need for attention, weighed down by the endless petty arguments that erupted without warning. Even the smallest disagreements turned into battles, leaving me feeling trapped and suffocated. All I wanted was a break, a chance to breathe, to exist without being pulled in every direction. Before I left, I was honest. I told him not to expect much from me during the trip, that I wouldn't be messaging constantly, and might even switch off my phone for a while. I emphasized that I needed this time to focus on myself. He looked at me with hurt in his eyes. I braced for an argument, but none came. He just nodded and quietly said, "Do what you feel is right." His calm acceptance unnerved me, but I brushed it off. During the trip, I felt a strange freedom. My phone stayed silent. No constant notifications, no questions about my whereabouts, no petty arguments. For the first time in years, I felt unburdened. I laughed with my friends, explored new streets, stayed up late without interruptions. I posted photos online, shared stories, and for a fleeting moment, wondered if this carefree life was what I'd been missing. I didn't stop to consider how my husband might be feeling back home. I convinced myself he'd be fine, that he'd wait. When I returned, I expected tension, a cold stare, sharp words, maybe even tears. But what I saw froze me. My husband sat in the living room, composed, next to a man in a dark suit holding a briefcase. My husband stood, his expression distant, almost unfamiliar. "This is Mr. Harris," he said calmly. "My divorce attorney." My stomach sank. I laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke, but his serious gaze told me otherwise. Mr. Harris opened his briefcase and neatly arranged papers on the table. "Everything is ready," he said. "Your husband is ready to proceed with the divorce." The room spun. My hands trembled. I tried to speak, but my husband's voice cut me off. "When you said you'd shut me out during your trip, it made me realize you've been shutting me out for years. This isn't just about a week away. You've been dismissing me, our marriage, and my feelings for far too long. I can't keep doing this. I won't fight for someone who doesn't want me." His words struck deeper than any fight we'd ever had. I begged him to listen, insisting I only needed space, that I never meant to hurt him. I swore I thought he'd understand, that he'd wait. He shook his head, tired but firm. "Marriage isn't about pushing each other away. It's about choosing each other every day. And you stopped choosing me long ago." Tears blurred my vision as memories came rushing back, the little things he did for me. Morning coffee, staying up late when I was delayed, holding my hand on walks. And every time I brushed him off, claiming I was busy, too tired, or just needed space. Each memory cut me like a knife. The lawyer slid the papers closer, explaining I didn't need to sign immediately, but the process had begun. My husband turned and walked upstairs, leaving me frozen, staring at the papers that threatened to unravel my life. I wanted to chase him, beg for forgiveness, promise I'd change, but fear and pride pinned me in place. In the following days, I tried everything to repair what I'd broken. I cooked his favorite meals, filled the house with familiar scents, left tear-stained letters on his pillow, admitted my blindness, and begged him to let me prioritize him. I reached for his hand at dinner, brushed past him in hallways, hoping to rekindle our connection. But he remained distant. Silent dinners, short or no replies to my messages, and when I tried to hold him, he stepped back, not angrily, but with a quiet detachment more painful than any outburst. A wall had risen between us, and I was pounding helplessly on the other side. Nights were the hardest. Lying awake beside him, I missed the late-night conversations, the comfort of his presence. I recalled all the times he tried to connect and how I dismissed him. The silence now was suffocating. One night, I broke down. Sitting on the edge of the bed, tears streaming, I begged for another chance, promising to put him first, to rebuild us. He looked at me with exhaustion, not anger. "I don't trust you now," he said softly. "I needed you then, not just because you're afraid of losing me." His words shattered me more than the divorce papers ever could. I finally saw the years of loneliness he endured while I drifted away. He carried our marriage alone, and I never realized it. Even now, I wake hoping for a miracle, that he'll believe our story isn't over. But each day, the distance grows. Deep down, I know sometimes love comes too late. I begged, pleaded, tried to undo my mistakes, but he stayed distant, calm, his quiet absence more painful than anger. One night, I asked him directly if there was any way to change his mind. He met my gaze, then said with finality, "No. The moment you decided I wasn't worth your time, you answered that for me." He walked away, leaving me with regret and silence. For so long, I believed he would never leave. I mistook patience for weakness, not seeing the strength it took to endure until he realized he had given all he could. That day came, and he left for good. When I signed the papers, hands shaking, he wasn't there. The house felt hollow. Days passed, friends drifted away, and I was left alone with the emptiness I had created. The freedom I thought I wanted was meaningless without love to ground it. Adventures ended, excitement faded, but the pain of losing someone who truly cared never did. Eventually, he moved out completely, starting a new life I couldn't reach. I glimpsed him once from afar, walking with another woman, looking happy, alive in a way I hadn't seen in years. He didn't leave for her. He left because of me, because of the times I pushed him away and chose myself over our bond. That trip, my pursuit of freedom, taught me the hardest lesson of my life: love isn't convenient. True love requires showing up, even when it's difficult. I learned too late, after losing the one person who truly loved me.